What's up, everyone? Happy 2022. This is the first video of the year. Let's go. If you don't know, we talk all DeFi, NFT, and how to retire early here. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and like the video. Today, we'll be interviewing the founder of Collectors Club. They're an actual company, they're docs, and they're trying to bridge the gap between physical collectibles and NFT collectibles. Stick to the end because I'm going to give you the secret phrase on how to win one of the free NFTs. I'll put all the links to the Discord and socials down below. Hop on over because they're actually doing their mint tomorrow on January 4th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you get into Discord if you want to get in on it. If you like basketball, baseball, football, collectibles in the physical and NFT space, then this is for you. Let's hop on to the interview. What's up, everyone? Today we have Shane here, who's one of the co-founders of Cardsway Sports. So really quickly, before we talk about his project, we're going to have him, just intro himself really quickly about his company and also where they are now.
What's up, everybody? Like you said, my name's Shane. I'm the co-founder of Cardsway Sports and Cardsway Breaks. We're an online sports cards company. We do just about everything with sports cards, sell boxes, singles. We do a repack. Like I said, Cardsway Breaks is for our case breaks, and we stream online on YouTube for that. We started back in 2002. My dad started on eBay, just really early on in the eBay days. We kind of got a leg up there. Have about 100,000 feedbacks on there since that date. In about 2015, we decided to go our own solo route just due to fees and all the stuff that eBay was starting to vamp up as it got super popular. So as soon as we opened up our own store, it allowed us to kind of start creating our own customer base and hone in on this. And we've actually have a lot of those same customers who were with us from the start. So that's very cool. A lot of those people are actually going to be a part of our NFT collection. So we started that in 2015. That was single cards, packs, stuff like that. And then in 2017, we realized that, this breaking thing was starting to get really big. And we were like, we could probably take notice on this. So we hired one person named Sonny. He's our host. He's also part of the NFT collection. And that really has taken off for us. That's really kind of been our bread and butter for what we do as a company. And as we are kind of seeing with where collectibles are going in this digital space, right? Like streaming on YouTube, hosting these breaks has kind of brought a digital sense to it where people don't have to go to their local card shop and buy and rip it on their own. They can sit at home on their computer, COVID friendly, and enjoy collecting, right? So that's kind of like where we're at with this NFT space right now. So we're kind of on this trajectory where we just want to continue to grow and be innovative as a company. So we saw this opportunity to introduce NFTs to sports cards just because I truly think they're synonymous, right? Like when NFTs first popped up and came to my attention around 2019-ish, 2020-ish.
What was your first NFT?
My first NFT?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. No, my first NFT, I actually didn't buy my own NFT. Well, Top Shot was like my first NFTs. Like okay. I got into Top Shot myself, but I didn't actually purchase my own Ethereum NFT until 2020, which was Panda Dynasty, I believe. And I've been in a few other, all my Ethereum plays, man, have been just a little unfortunate. That's why, hey, we're rocking with Solana right now.
Get it.
But yeah, I'll kind of go into that a little bit later, kind of the difference between the two and why we're choosing Solana over Ethereum for our particular project.
And how did you first hear about NFTs? Where is it? You were always into crypto, or a friend told you?
Yeah, I'm out in LA, so it's talked about quite heavily out here. And crypto obviously started taking off 2017. I remember that boom, feeling like I missed out on that wave. And I remember telling myself in that moment, this isn't going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? Don't take this stuff light and really try to grow with it, because the concepts at first, right, they seem crazy and they seem like, what is this? Until you start to see that you're the crazy one for thinking that it was crazy. So that's kind of where I found myself in 2017. And as I grew in 2018, the market kind of died back down, and 2019 started to take off again. And that's when I used that as an opportunity to jump in. And that's kind of when NFTs started to become big. But I'm not going to lie that at the point at the time, I was a little bit hesitant due to owning a sports cards company, right? Like at the time, I was a little hesitant to understanding the value and all of that, even though they are so synonymous with one another. But as you open your mind up, you start to begin to realize that this is the same thing, and people are trying to just get closer to, whether it be a sport, an athlete, a community, or whatever their passion is, right? So I think that where we're at right now is kind of the future of where collecting's going.
So the online business right now, you said is in, you told me offline that was in Minneapolis, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
that's
So that's based in Minneapolis. We started the company at the time we were in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's where my
okay.
family originally had our roots, right by Lambeau Field, as a matter of fact. Moved up to Minnesota, and that's where we're based as of now. I'm based in LA. I do all the website and social media stuff, so I'm able to be remote.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, that's where we're Midwest proud.
Interesting. So which teams were you rooting for last night? Was it Green Bay versus Minnesota?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not a fan of either of them. My,
Oh,
my
really?
dad's from my
Okay.
dad's from Philly. My older brother actually played in the league for a while.
Oh,
I was telling
wow.
somebody in our Discord group this actually. So my older brother played in the NFL. So I grew up cheering for his teams. He played on the Buccaneers, the Saints. So being
Okay.
in Green Bay, if you're not a Packer fan, you got to go, right? So I was constantly being picked on and made fun
Interesting.
of for not being a Packer fan. So that kind of made me not a Packer fan, you could say, even though I was right by Lambeau Field. But a lot of my friends are Packers fan. I got nothing but love, but they're the ones hating on me.
Interesting. Wow, wow. So, well, congrats for having a family member be in the league, and he could probably give
Yeah, of
some
course.
insight to the sport and the space. And so it's like a family business, pretty much, what you have
Yeah,
with your dad. Yeah.
yeah, it is a family business. We all kind of work on it. My oldest brothers aren't really part of it, but a lot of the family is a part of it. And even my oldest brother who played in the league, he's been buying cards and reaching out and being like, "Hey, should I pick this up?" Like he picked up a Herbert, Gem Mint 10, and like he's every, so
Yeah.
it's beautiful to see how collecting is growing and how it's becoming accepted mainstream. People like Gary Vee, some of these people who are making people realize, hey, you don't have to feel weird, you don't have to feel like a nerd, you don't have to feel this type of way to do what you really love to do.
I've been in the NFT space not too long, later than you actually, the start of 2021 with Top Shot.
Nice,
And as a
nice.
collector, I mean, I look young, maybe a lot of people say, but I'm old. I'm almost 40. And I started collecting when back in the days when cards was the only thing that existed in terms of
Right,
collectibles.
right. The
And
OG.
I didn't have the funds for it then. And then when I did, it's just been such a long gap. I never got back in. But like you said, because I don't think because of Gary Vee, but because the whole ecosystem kind of became
Right,
acceptable. And then you didn't have to, exactly what you said, you don't have to go to a card store. I could rip open an NBA Top Shot pack. It really got
right,
me back into collecting
right,
when I had a huge like 20-year gap. And it
right.
really did a lot for me, meaning like me and my friends went to an NBA summer league game because of NFTs, because of NBA Top Shot,
That's
the
incredible.
sport, because they were minting in-person mints. So we flew out to Vegas and we got an in-person mint of a
Oh, that's
collectible.
dope. That's
You're right.
dope.
So I'm just trying to echo your statement that yeah, like it's getting me back into collecting, number one. And I have a
Right,
lot of friends who never left the game. They have those,
right.
Beckett rated cards and those mints that are encased, and I don't that's outside my realm, but it's definitely valuable. I don't think that's going away. If anything, I think it's only going
No,
to become more valuable because of the scarcity of it.
right,
And that's one thing I
exactly.
appreciate what you guys are doing. So maybe you can tell us about your Project Collectors Club, right?
Of course, yeah. So, like I said, being owning a sports cards company, always trying to think of creative ways to get our customers involved and continue to expand our business, right? So,
Yep.
being in the NFT space myself, I brought it to my dad's attention, and his understanding of it is pretty limited, but he understands an opportunity when he hears it, and he was all on board with me, and he kind of gave me the reins to take over the project. So, uh, came up with the name Collectors Club because I thought what better way to just make it general collecting, right? I didn't want it to be like card collectors or anything specific, right? Because like at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is bridge the gap between physical collectors and digital collectors because there is a misunderstanding between both of them, and they're really the same. They're synonymous with one another. So we're
Yep.
trying to teach that while also provide opportunities for them to grow their collections, whether it be NFTs or physical cards, or whether it be a McFarlane doll or NBA Top Shot, whatever it is. We want to offer those things for people to be a part of a community where they can earn by just holding, right? And you see a lot of those NFT gimmicks right now where it's like, you hold and you get, passive income. So we're not really trying to go directly into that route, but we do want to reward our holders by giving them what they love, and that's cards or NFTs or whatever it may be, right? So, the basic concept of it is that to bridge the gap, right? So now we can kind of dive into a little bit of the logistics of how our project is going to work.
Yeah.
We've decided to break it up into two generations. The first gen being, Gen Zero. It's not Gen One. We're starting with the Gen Zero, recommended by your friend Mike. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of my advisor when I put my brains together with him. We come up with some great ideas. So we came up with the idea: start low. You know what I'm saying? Start with 444 supply. Really hit those people who love what we do, right? Bring in those
Right.
people who are dedicated, make that community as strong as possible, and then grow from there. So our Gen Zero is going to be the collectors, right? You kind of, and if you want to show people what the NFT looks like, it's just like some collectors, right? It looks like a regular person, kind of that crypto dad look, kind of that everyday person. Like you can relate to this person. And that's our first one. And it's going to come with the benefits of free giveaways every day. We're going to do daily giveaways every single day. You'll have a chance to win something. We're going to do weekly trivia events where you have a chance to win crypto, you have a chance to win cards, you have a chance to win NFTs, whatever the prize may be, right? Then we're also going to be doing monthly breaks with our holders that will allow at least 30 to 32 of our holders to participate in a free break each month, which is, for these guys, that's everything to them. So we're super excited about that. And we're hoping that some of the people in the NFT community can start to understand, breaking and what else is out there as far as physical collecting and vice versa. And then lastly, we are going to have what's called the collector's safe. And this is going to be a part of our collector's DAO, which will be of all of our holders. And the collector's safe will be an allocated amount of funds that will go towards buying high-end cards that our DAO votes on, right? So they'll vote on, let's say they want a LeBron James Gem Mint rookie, right? Let's say that's $2,500. That's what they vote on. That's a part of the budget. We go and vote on that we're going to purchase that. And then we also vote on a selling strategy on what sell point they would like to sell at. So then there's no arguments when the time comes. We know that we voted that we bought this at 2,500. We want to sell it at 4,000, and then it's fractionally owned by all of our holders, which is great, right? And it gives people an opportunity to feel like they own something that they might not be able to afford on their own. This model has actually been done by a few other apps. You can see like Rally and Collectible. It's being done out there. But not necessarily in the NFT space. And I know Bloxpack is doing stuff like this. A lot of my people in my community have been telling me about Bloxpack, and I hadn't really known about it before I came up with this idea. But people in the collecting industry, we're all going to come up with similar ideas, and that's why I say I really welcome friendly competition, because that's what this is all about. We're all just trying to be the best we can be.
And that's how my YouTube channel kind of took off. Actually, my friend has a pack break channel. I don't actually know the name of it, which is pretty bad. He's probably going to unfriend me.
That's right. Add it right here.
Yeah, I'll add it somewhere right there. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, he started doing pack breaks, and he kind of inspired me to do pack breaks as well. So I did it with NBA Top Shot, and I had absolutely no viewers then. But of course, the NFT community stepped in, and really that's how my YouTube channel kind of took off, of starting off with those pack breaks. Because when I was talking about finance, I got very little views, but now that I'm talking about more, the next layer 2 of finance on DeFi and then NFTs and how that plays as an asset, is really taking off. So the first question is, are these all going to be physical, like the daily to weekly giveaways? I know you mentioned the pack breaks as well, or is it one day going to be like, NBA Top Shot pack breaks, NFL pack breaks? Is the treasury going to hold not only physical gem mints, or will it hold maybe? Right when you said that, I was like, man, I would love to have a fractional ownership of the Drew Holiday assist, a steal and assist dunk that he had in the finals last year. So I know I asked a couple of questions there. So what are your thoughts on that?
Actually, so the collector's safe will, we're catering to card collectors, right? So
Okay.
I'm under the assumption that that's what they might want, right? But they get to vote, right? So let's say that somebody said, hey, we want one Top Shot. Let's go with one Top Shot, guys, and let's go with one. I'll use the LeBron James rookie card again as an example, right? Let's say they want to do one of each with our first allocated funds, right? So if that's what they want to do, that's what they can do, because we're all for that. We definitely are not trying to force the physical collecting upon the digital collectors. We want to force the digital collecting just as much to the physical collectors, right? Like we're really trying to fuse this right now. So and then I didn't really talk much about what we're going to do with Gen 1, but later on in the roadmap, we do plan to actually create our own NFT card company in itself, right? Where we can partner with professional and college athletes and come out with exclusive collections with them. And this we feel will give us the upper edge going into the future where, Panini and some of these companies are going to get put out by Fanatics, we want to find ourselves in this digital world right with them at that point in time.
There's a lot of education that I feel that you guys can bring to someone like myself, for example. Like I've watched
Right.
Gary Vee a lot, right? I know we mentioned his name here. And he used to, before NFTs, he used to teach people how to flip physical, Luka Doncic cards, right?
Yeah.
And there are stories of how his followers bought up like a bunch of Lukas and Giannis's and made tens of thousands of dollars.
I bet.
And I never saw myself as one to, I'm like, man, that's great. But I'm not going to a card show. And then secondly, I wouldn't know what to pick.
Right.
So something that interests this to me is like, it's like speculatively is a hedge for me because I get physical cards that I know will probably have intrinsic value, as well as, being part of a community. And one thing I think your mint price is really low, right? It's 0.55 so or something of that.
It's 0.4, yeah, close, 0.44. So it's sitting around, like 70, $80, depending on where Solana falls tomorrow for our mint. And yeah, so can I kind of go into why that's like what we're doing and kind of why we're even rolling with Solana?
Yeah.
So low mint price, low supply, kind of what we're doing to bring attraction, right? Because we did throw this project out. We did start with 4,444. That was the initial target. That was like my initial, idea and concept that I launched with, as far as announcing our concept. And then I had the opportunity to meet with Mike and some other people, and we sat down and we strategized this other plan. But originally we wanted it, to be this big thing, but we realized that, hey, let's bring the demand by making it small and making it cheap, right? And then on the other hand, the reason why we are a Solana platform is because I knew that we would be onboarding at least 100 of our own customers, right?
Yeah.
At least 50, I say 50 to 100. I won't say exactly 100, but around 50 to 100 of our own customers who are customers of Cardsway Sports, who are traditionally physical collectors and maybe don't have an NFT in their wallet at all, or even have a crypto wallet, to be completely honest, right? So I knew that would be the case, and I knew they'd be starting at square one, right? So
I saw on your website, sorry to interrupt, your website was really introductory and educational. It was like, I was like, I don't see much websites like this, which is explaining people how to get the wallet. I'm like, this is the first time I've seen that actually.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. It's funny. And hey, no shade to you guys in the community. I still have people asking me every day how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, guys, go to the link. And then I created a channel where I put the link in, and we still got people today. How do I, what do I do? So it is a learning curve though, and I'm here for that because I went through that learning curve. I've made my mistakes. I've lost my money in this world. And that's why we're here, right? To bring this knowledge. So, these people starting at square one in this crypto world or NFT world, just digital world in general, right? If they're going to start getting into this, do I want to introduce them to a platform like Solana, which I think is maybe the underdog in this situation, or the Ethereum, right? So we chose the Solana route. Number one, because of the gas fees, right? I did not want to onboard people and try to explain to them that the gas fees were going to be more expensive than the NFT itself, right? Because for me, that was a pretty hard concept to grasp, and also made it hard to understand which ones I should go for without wasting money legitimately. So I feel as though Solana is a faster platform, and I think it's a more friendly platform, right, for a new user, right? So we're really catering to onboarding to the Solana ecosystem. We're going to build everything that we do on the Solana ecosystem moving forward, because we love it. Me and a few of the other team members, it was night and day for us, our experience with Solana and Ethereum. So not to bring down Ethereum at all. I just think that what we're trying to do with onboarding and getting people understanding the concept from square one, like it's not like you're trying to convince an Ethereum person that it's that Solana is better, because that's a pretty tough argument, right? But we're just trying to convince people who don't know anything about this that this is a good place to start in general.
What's some of the interesting conversations, pros or cons that bringing on physical collectors have come? I don't know how long it's been since you opened a Discord, but
it's been about a month. It's been about a month. So it's been a slow burn for us. We've been slowly growing and slowly meeting new people and introducing people to our family every day. And it's very interesting, because you have people who are just new to this, right? Like, we can even discuss the whole concept of security within this, right? Because we've all been rugged, or we've all been scammed, and we've all had to have this experience with this digital world that not that we haven't had these experiences in the physical world, right? Like we can't forget that. Like that happens all the time still in the physical world. So it's like one of our, a few of our guys super excited, got their Phantom wallet, got some money, and then jump in right away in this collection, right? And
Yeah.
it turns out to be a rug, right? So
Okay.
that was an interesting thing for us because that's what we're here for, right? We want to teach them, right? You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, they had to learn from their own mistakes, but this allowed us to now point out what things might cause a rug. You know what I'm saying? Just understanding the concept of a rug, right? Like
Hmm.
you hear rug and like these people are legitimately thinking a rug on the floor, right? But no, they need to understand that concept of what it means for a team to launch something that gets a bunch of people excited and then they dip out on the whole community, right? Like you don't see that as often in the physical world, right?
Right.
People usually have their because the concept of doxing, right? And being who you are that person in the physical world. Where in this digital world, you got all these people hiding
Yeah.
behind it, doing all this shady stuff, right? So that's a big part of onboarding these people, right? Is teaching them about the negatives, right? Because that's kind of my whole theory is it's like you want to make this a positive environment for these people, especially at the start, because it you can get turned off quick to this stuff. So that's been a very interesting thing, is just trying to teach them the cons of this while also telling them, hey, join this and do this, but also be careful over here, right? So that's been a very interesting thing that I don't think people have dealt with much, but I will say that the collectors have taken it very well, because I do think the collecting industry and eBay and all that, they've dealt with their shadiness. They've dealt with their fair share of scams and
Right.
whatnot. So that's been very interesting, and I'm happy to continue to educate on that, and I'm happy to continue to educate myself on that end, because that is the future of us is security within this digital world. So that's been a very interesting thing. I'd say the other interesting thing is just seeing NFT people who don't know anything about cards teaching the people about cards, and then the people who know everything about cards, and then vice versa, right? So it's cool to see these people be teacher. I don't know half of these people by person, right? More than half. I'd say I don't know a good 90% of them, but for them to become teachers to somebody and to teach them something, it means a lot, right? And it develops these relationships that I think are going to go a long way. And we truly are creating a community that's more of like a family. Like we break with these people. These people see Sonny, who's our breaker. He's in our Discord, then he goes live. So
Yeah.
we're not doxxed to the point where I'm like, hey, this is my full name, this is where I went to college, and this is everything about me, this is where I work. But we do have faces behind it. We do have a company behind it. We are trying to be as legitimate as we can be without, there being some sort of security issues on our end.
And more of an advanced question, have you seen collectors say, hey, you know what? Maybe there's a way for me to capitalize off my physical collection. Can I contribute something to the treasury, or how can we work that out? Has that been talked about? Has that been a thought? I imagine there's a lot of
Hey,
people with a lot of good stuff out there.
surprise, you know what? There is one guy in our group who has probably the most insane collection I've seen. Like this dude has so many Patrick Mahomes rookie autos and just silver prisms that, like, when he's posting pictures at first, everyone was like, oh, you're taking those from Google. And then he he had to put a little piece of paper with his name on it
Uh-huh.
to prove that it was him.
Yeah.
Um, so there are people who have things that would be a great contribution to it, but surprisingly, nobody's pushed that on us. Nobody's really even trying to sell that much. People have asked for me to create a marketplace channel in our Discord, but
Mhm.
right now I'm not doing that just because we haven't even minted, and I don't want that's opening people up to scams and potential things. So once we have our holders, things like a marketplace, things like a Web3 website where they can access some discounted goods and stuff like that. That is kind of in our future of what we want to do. But right now, super early stages, like I said, kind of just onboarding, free giveaways, perks, right? Like, and community, like strong community,
Yeah.
and feel like, and making that worth it, making your time worth it, and making it feel fun. Like really trying to provide something that people can feel like, hey, like as adults, we all don't have that thing where it's like, we're kids, they have their friends, they have their basketball teams, they
Mhm.
have, right? As adults, we're always trying to find our thing, right? So I kind of want to be that thing for all of these people. So I
Yeah.
think that that's kind of the start of what we got going on.
Got it. I have a question. As a non-physical card collector anymore, I would love to have held on to a lot of my Magic the Gathering, basketball cards, all that stuff.
Oh
So
man.
if I and you might have answered this in your roadmap or in the website, is it possible for number one to get a discount? Because if I have an NFT, a collectors club, do I get a discount on your pack breaks online? Question number
Yeah.
one.
So no, we're gonna work on that. We actually might. This is all in talks right now, so
Yeah.
nothing's final. First of all, we are offering the free break monthly, right, where they get an opportunity to not have to pay anything. I do love the idea of a discount. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's been talked about. And also, like I said, is our own website that we
Yeah.
do exclusive breaks for these people on, where it is at a discounted rate from Cards Away Breaks. So they could see, parallel side by side that Collectors Club has better deals than Cards Away Breaks. So like being a part of the Collectors Club would benefit me as a customer. So yeah, we've definitely thought
Yeah.
about those things. Honestly, like right now, though, I think the biggest thing for us is like trying not to get ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
because it's like there are a lot of moving parts. We only
Sure.
have so many people on our team, and we do have a functioning business at the same time, right? So it's like trying to fuse these things. It's something that we're not in a rush to do, but we're going to
Sure.
slowly work it in. We're going to start with these, free monthly breaks, and then I do have a great developer on the team. It's a part of the Monkey DAO, and two other Monkey DAO members as far as our NFT experts. So we are, our goal is to just continue to educate. That's really
Yeah.
what we're trying to do. So if we can give discounts to our and bring those people over from the NFT world and convince them, or even incentivize our customers, absolutely. That it's all about incentivizing. I think that
Yeah.
that's at the end of the day what we're trying to do.
So as a physical, as someone who's never done a pack break physically, like if I
Yep.
win one of those, is that a card that's being held in the DAO, or is that going to be sent to me physically? How is
No,
that?
that's you, man. We send it all out. We've done. I would say we've probably done over $3,000 to $4,000 worth of giveaways already, just leading up. People who aren't even holders have been. Somebody won a Sohei Ohtani, a Gem Mint rookie card worth $300. Just for being a part of it. People have won boxes.
Wow.
There's been a ton of awesome giveaways that we're doing. But then going to your question, as far as if you do win this stuff, yeah, you actually get that sent to you, and you actually physically will own that on your own. The only things that we'll be having as a part of the collector safe are the voted cards. And I mean, I guess that's not true. If somebody wants to donate something to the collector
Mhm.
safe, we'll take it. But but I think that's going to be more so the things that we vote on. But everybody will have their own personal incentive in that regard as far as winning things, right? Like everyone's, and it is kind of that way. People are out for them. So like we have a rule in our Discord where if you don't have a chat history in our general chat, you're not eligible for the giveaways
I see.
right now, because we don't have a way to just have a discrepancy between who's the holders, who are the non-holders, right? So as long as you're contributing to our community right now, you're able to be eligible for giveaways. But as of tomorrow, starting tomorrow, if you're not a holder and you're not a part of our DAO, then you are ineligible for the giveaways.
I see. Is cards the stage one? Are you going to move into things like memorabilia? Is that something that's in your
Absolutely.
wheelhouse at all, or?
Absolutely. We actually we just partnered with Philip Clark. He's a part of the Toronto Blue Jays organization, and we did a cool giveaway with him where we gave away one of his graded rookie cards. He autographed a baseball, and we gave away 2 boxes of baseball. And he kind of hosted that giveaway. He came into our Discord. So I mean, absolutely. Like we really want to continue to bring people closer to the sport and what their passion is, right? So if it's Pokemon people, we hopefully we can someday create events, you know what I'm saying, or Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what I'm saying, like hopefully we can get everybody closer to what their passion is, right? So for sports, absolutely, whether it be ticket giveaways to their favorite teams games, or anything that we can do to bring these people closer to their passion. So memorabilia, absolutely, that's a big area where we don't go full go in it, but we're kind of settling in there, and we have some good sources to continue to have that as an outlet.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that uh, that's happening right now in the Nine Lives Lounge, which is NBA Top Shot.
Yep.
There are some players in there. I am not one of those. There are some heavy hitters there, and they have their own thread for just community giveaways, and that this has been going on for months. And people have given away like sideline tickets to basketball
Yep.
game, football games. And it's just amazing to see that the community is just giving back to the community. There's season ticket holders, they can't make
Man,
it, or they have
right.
just a ton of stuff and they're just giving it out. Yeah.
And honestly, like the community aspect of this is, I think, the thing that people are missing. If they're not being open-minded to NFTs, right, or even if they were never open-minded to collecting in general, right, it's all community based, right? Like you do this, like you do it because you have your own passion, but as soon as you get into one of these discords and you start to understand that you all are together trying to accomplish a mission, right? It's like a venture, it's like a startup company, as a matter of fact, and we're all, on the early seed level of this, right? And we're trying to grow this. So it's like, it's super, cool to see people step up. I had one guy who Shout out Nick. I'm going to shout you out. He came into our Discord, maybe about a week ago or so, and he really stepped like I was out busy just working on all hustle bustle, trying to get everything done. He stepped up and really has been the leader. I made him a mod, and I'm like, he was there to answer all the questions. And honestly, he took it upon himself to do all this research and have all this knowledge, whether it be for cards or NFTs. He came with all this. I didn't need to prep him. So it's amazing to see, people step up in these roles inside of these communities. And I think that that is what people are not giving the full value to within these things, is to have a role, to have a team that, like I said, as adults, it's we all grew up having those teams, and we all grew up having those friends. And it's like, as you grow up, that concept kind of goes away. But like, this is what we're trying to create. And I think that, like I said, I think it is the future of collecting.
And I agree. I met up with folks that I met in the NFT community. And I know you're down in LA. I'm up here in the Bay. So anytime you have some in real life meetups, let me know.
Let's go.
We're only a 6-hour drive away.
Let's go.
So I saw on the website and on Discord that a rarity could be something in the future. I saw that on some of the traits. Is there I know that there might be plans for that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, there's rarity. So we have our rarities broken up into common, uncommon, rare, and legendary. I actually need to update that list on the website currently. There's just a few legendaries that are actually rares after having the final shakedown of numbers and stuff like that. But every character is a one of one, but some one of ones obviously will have rarer traits than others. Things that I think that will, now that's the part that I think that the people who have been physical collectors is they don't realize how close this is going to get to sports cards once they get into that regards, right? Like everybody's chasing these prism parallels and all these different variations for rarity and scarcity, right? Well, that's where NFTs also have that, right? And so when you see these rankings come out on Moon Rank or How Rare Is or any of these sites, right, and you see that yours is ranked like 300 out of 400, you're like, oh, I got to get one in top 100, right? I got to get the top 100. So it's like, I do also love that part about it, because that's the collector's mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody wants a piece of something that nobody else has. And that is why, we made a point to make sure that we offered rarity attributes within our collection, although they all, it's nothing crazy. With 444 characters, all of them are cool, all of them are different, but some of them are, there are a few crazy ones. Like I created a one of one character for Sonny, who's our breaker. He has his own character within this, and that's like the biggest chase that you can get in there. I got him wearing a Randy Moss jersey, Vikings fan. So yeah, so it's things like that where like that's the kind of stuff that gets our community pumped up, and that's what's great for us, because it's nothing for us to offer something like that to them. You know what I'm saying? Because if they feel as though Sonny's something that they want to chase, because he has really kind of been the face of our company as the host of our breaks. The kid's funny as hell, so it's like people can feel connected, really. Like I'm saying, is a lot of these communities, I think that they might not even hear the dev's voice. He might not even do an AMA. He might not even go on a Twitter space. He might not do an interview like what we're doing today. But we're very open about that. Like I said, we go live 4 times a week. So you can find us online, that's for sure.
And this might be a little bit crazy of a thought because you guys are already deep into this, but it seems to be a small enough launch where you can do a one-on-one for each holder, and that'd be absolutely amazing. I'd probably pay for that.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we're thinking about some different things for airdrops for our holders. We're just, one thing obviously is if you do buy a Gen Zero, or if you don't even buy, like if you're just a holder of it, right? Like let's say you win it in the giveaway or whatever the case is you will get when we take our screenshot of that, of our holders at the time, you will be getting airdropped a free Gen 1, which is an ape, and it's cool as hell. We got our artist working on all of that now. A local artist out here who helps me out, kind of does all the base stuff. I'm a graphic artist myself, so I do all like the attributes and stuff like that. So we got a 2-person artist team that works on these, and I think that that's something that we want to continue to also do, is the content side of things, right? Is it's like as a company, we understand marketing. We understand like what it takes to like grow and expand. Like we're super cool with where we're at right now, and the fact that we only have 500 people in our Discord, because that's where our brakes company was
Yeah.
at. You know what I'm saying? There was a point in time where our brakes, we could only get 10 people in our brakes, and we had to say, hey guys, we're just gonna fill up the rest of the spots because like otherwise it's not gonna move, right? And that's where we were at in 2017. Flash forward 2 years later, and the sports card industry blows up and we're right in the middle of it. So like,
Right.
we're cool with being where we're at right now. And we have a concept of long-term growth. Like this isn't one of those projects where you're just going to get in today and you're going to sell it by the end of the day. And then you're going to leave the Discord server and never worry about it again. We are probably going to attract a few flippers just based off of the low supply. Like once it hits
Yeah.
Magic Eden, like I'm sure people are going to try to get in and do that. But I would say for the most part, I would give a number of about, I think 70% of our holders are going to be long-term holders.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely seems like I thought about this probably when I first got into NFTs because I got so many of them. I liken it to, which club or association do you want to be a part of? And long-term wise, before all this flippers and speculation came in, and I came in completely honest, not only to NFTs initially as like a speculator, like, hey, I'm gonna make some money off this, and then I turn into I'm wearing jerseys. I have a pack break videos. I've turned into a total collectible.
No, you're a finance dude, bro. How did you think you were just gonna be a flipper? You're going in depth with it, I bet.
Yeah. I'm going pretty. I'm picking and choosing and companies now where I want to, like you said, be there for the long term. And let me tell you, it's not many that has a face to face. Like I even did an interview with Penelope's Country Club, which is they've been in the space for a while, but the founder doesn't go on video. Like you said, having real companies, that's like the next wave, and I think you're one of those pioneers into this next. Yeah.
Man, I think so too. And then, I don't want to talk too much about Solana, but I think that's another thing that like, myself is seeing this awesome product, right, with the Solana blockchain and understanding this ecosystem and its potential and seeing how shitty people treat it, right? Like how they don't really care about it, how they'll come in just for a quick buck and they're not looking for long-term, longevity within what they're doing. And making a quick $100,000 doing a rug is cool, right? But like, imagine growing that to be $1 million company and having something in the future. So like these people who are, so we really want to bring legitimacy to Solana because we do think that it's the future. And we do think that collectors can be some of the most honest people within this. And if we can bring on physical collectors who really have a passion for collecting and holding on to things and not just about like, yeah, they want to make money, right? Like it's cool if like you hold on to something for a week and flip it and then you hold on, whatever they want to do. But at the end of the day, these people, their mantra of how they collect is to hold and to invest. You know what I'm saying? It's that word invest, right? It's like people like to throw it around in the NFT world, but truthfully, how many people are really investing, right? Like, people are so short-sighted, and 2 days in the crypto world is 3 weeks, right? So it's like, people are so quick, but like, I truly think that we are going to have more investors in this in the collectors club than we're going to have flippers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I would like most of these projects today to move towards. And actually I wish the community members to support that as well, because I see a lot of communities move on and not try to build that space that they joined initially, that I was excited for. And I'm a victim of that myself, but that's why this year is my 2022 resolution, is to really provide more energy and focus on ones that I really, see long-term as a piece of me, like an expression of me, like who I want to represent, who I want to wear a t-shirt of and all of that. Yeah.
I mean, man, at the end of the day, we're spending so much time doing it, right? Like at the end of the day, like it does consume us. So we do need to be careful about how we are consuming our lives. And it can become toxic if you do find yourself in a community that is, if they rug or the devs go missing for 2 days, it can be actually stressful. You know what I'm saying? Because you are invested in it and you are a part of this community, and you like to feel as though your voice matters and all these things. So it is important to pick and choose the ones that are going to feed that energy back to you.
Yeah. And it seems like you guys already do that on your day to day. So either way, you're doing hack breaks, you're already doing that for your community, just incorporating NFTs. It's exciting to see where you guys go. And I did see, see on Twitter that you guys are working with some play to earn games to do some giveaways in the sports world. And then you also mentioned that you might do not a metaverse play, but you might do a sports store as well, right? Can you talk about that a
Yeah,
little bit?
yeah. I mean, that was kind of like the first idea, right? Is it's like I was like, it would be so cool to have the first local card shop inside of a metaverse, right? Where our holders could walk into this metaverse and they could be with one another, they could shop together, they could trade, they could, basically function as if they were actually in a card shop together,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of like a long-term vision, and we are looking for a Solana partner for that. We don't plan on building our own metaverse. We're actually looking to get integrated into a metaverse that exists.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're excited about. We've been in talks with a few people. I won't mention names just due to making sure that it's legit and not so. But we are definitely trying to make partners in that space, and we do want to push forward. I do think the metaverse is the future. I do think that that's the next wave. And I do think, as we talk about this community oriented basis, right? Like that's just taking Discord one step further and putting a character in now it's like we're all in Discord, but we're all in the card shop, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
continuing to further that community basis and continuing to open it up and open up the communication and functionality, and utility is the word that people like to use.
Yeah, a lot of people throw around the word metaverse, but it's pretty far away, I feel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean that's the thing, right? Is it's like that's I think that's like one of our last points in our roadmap.
Yeah.
And I don't want to rush it. I really don't. Like I plan on probably going with our sports card brand and doing some of these other plays. We do have a utility that we are going to try to bring to the Solana ecosystem that is for NFTs. We're trying to bring it's kind of some classified information, but there's a concept within sports cards that we're going to try to
Yeah.
you know program a platform that allows for people to enjoy that with NFTs as they would with sports cards.
Do you have I know you mentioned a little bit about the NCAA. That's probably the last question. Are you in talks with some people already? Is that how that came
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, so I'm fortunate enough. So I played sports myself. Like obviously, I said my older brother
Yeah.
played. I played Division I football myself. I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of relationships. A lot of I got some friends who are in the league. Got a lot of friends. A good friend of mine started an agency where he's representing these college athletes. We actually had a gentleman come into our Discord to introduce himself. He's a sports agent. Spoke with him. He actually represents some pretty big hitters, and we're talking with him about doing some stuff. So yeah, we're continuously moving the conversation forward about talent because we understand the exclusivity that we can create with these pieces, with each talent, right? You know what I'm saying? Just like Panini's doing, just like all these other, just like Top Shot's doing. Everybody is, utilizing this talent and these moments, and they're, you know, allowing it to make sense for both parties, right? So that's what we're trying to do. Is if everybody can win and people can be excited about it, like that is the future of what we're trying to do. Whether it be creating a custom character for like we did with Philip Clark and making a giveaway, or whatever it might be, actually creating, like you said, I know when we spoke earlier, the Sharif O'Neal example that he did with Dapper Labs. That's a great example of what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's something more physical, but it's a digital asset where it's connected to a physical being, right? So it kind
Yeah.
of is the best of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of not just college athletes, but there's athletes out there that I don't know. I feel like if you invest in an NFT, you feel like a part of their journey, especially ones that are unfounded
Dude,
that are still
that
coming up.
so that's actually really interesting you say that, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but that concept in itself, right? Like the rookie card, right? Like
Yeah.
why people are so attracted to a rookie card, right? Because you feel so close to that first moment, like you were the one, like you knew that they were going to be, big. So like with NFTs in general, I think that we're going to start to see that on both ends of this, right? Like not only just with the talent, but also with the artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like some of these artists who are going to start to become big art, whether they're a graphic artist, whether they're a photographer, some of these projects will be their rookie projects, or
Yeah.
like the concept of this feeling closer through digital assets to physical beings, or whether it be physical objects getting you closer to physical beings, like that's what collecting is kind of all about. Is it's just like feeling closer to something. So
Yeah.
we're definitely moving in that direction.
Yeah, that'd be very exciting. Yeah, I hope that you expand in that space because there's a lot of people's journey that I would like to be a part of.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Absolutely. And I think that, that is what people are doing. And I think a lot of these athletes are looking to, I'm starting to see a lot of athletes start to create their own collections, which I
Yeah.
think is amazing. And I'm starting to see some of these athletes, trying to think of the name of it. There's the Diamond Dogs. We just did a giveaway with them and their founder is a baseball player, and he's actually the artist as well. And like
Oh,
that
wow.
is that speaks to me, because as somebody who, you know, slaved away their whole life with sports trying to get to that level, you kind of neglect some of these other areas, such as art, such as, you know, entertainment, some of these other spaces that like really allow us to express ourselves. So I think it's cool that this is providing that opportunity for, you know, the more than an athlete movement. Like I'm all for that, and like that's something that speaks volumes to me. So like I think that, you know, the future of NFTs and athletes being a part of it and being able to understand from a business stance, from an art stance, and from all these different angles, it just allows them to feel more inclusive with these things, and also in turn bring our community closer with them as the athletes. So it's synonymous as well.
Awesome. Well, it seems like we can talk for another like 2 hours about this, because sports is just something that I don't know. I feel like I can talk forever
Oh, me
with
too,
about
bro.
my
As you
friends.
can
So
see, I'll yap forever. So we can wrap this up for sure.
great. Well, thank you, Shane, for your time.
I
I think that
appreciate
will
you, man.
wrap it up for today. We'll definitely talk post mid. Sometime we'll catch up to see how things going. I'm sure it's going to be pretty exciting year
Uh,
2022 for you. So
I
I
I
have no doubt
appreciate
we're
you,
going to
bro.
talk again. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks again, man. I appreciate the time.
All right, everyone, to qualify for the giveaway, make sure you join the Discord below, subscribe, and comment down below. I love Collectors Club. Postman will be sure to pick one of you guys to win the NFT. As you heard on the interview, they're doing daily, weekly, monthly giveaways. If you're a person like me who's missed out on the physical collectible world, then this is a good way to marry both the NFT world and the physical world. This year, my focus is really find good projects to collaborate and partner with, so we will definitely get Shane back on the channel post-mint, sees developments, and what's going on in the future. In 2022, we're bringing the heat, lots of videos, interviews with high-level people, deep dives into project. I'm opening up my private Discord to beta only. If you want to be a beta tester, comment down below, let me know. I might have missed some of you guys, but if I did, I'm sorry. It's not open to everyone yet. I want to make sure we have a good group going. All right, guys, stay healthy, stay fire. See you on the next one. Peace.